All right, we'll go ahead and get started again. Thanks for hopping in on this call. We're going to try to keep this to about 30 minutes today and just run through some functionality. I'm not going to go in a whole lot of granular detail, but you are more than welcome to reach out to me with any specific questions, and we can go into greater detail in a one-on-one session. There are a lot of capabilities, and just keep this short and sweet. We kind of wanted to focus just on what we took to the Esri Federal GIS Conference this year. Just a couple of meeting notes here. At the bottom of your screen, there's a section to ask Q&A. You can insert your questions there. I'm joined by John Mueller today. He's going to kind of help me just moderate the questions, I'm hoping. And then again, if you have a request for a more detailed presentation on the capabilities, we'll be happy to go through that. What we're going to focus on today from a technology standpoint is our GeoPDF Publisher for ArcGIS Pro, and a quick demonstration of the collaboration capabilities. I'm not going to try to bore you with too many slides here, but just to recap, the Federal GIS Conference held in Washington, D.C. It was last month, the end of the month. Probably about 3,000 attendees. It's kind of hard to tell, but it's primarily the federal government, but it was also attended by a lot of people locally in the Northern Virginia area, from the AEC market, other infrastructure industries. I spoke with several oil and gas folks as well. But the majority of the people were from federal government agencies, the Department of Defense, and the intelligence community. Esri put out some key takeaways, which I think people were able to gather and absorb from the event. It's primarily just to focus on data-driven decisions, letting your data do the talking and helping you be able to make more informed decisions, and improving situational awareness and all those things that are around you. You can imagine that that's a high priority in the Department of Defense and the intelligence community as well, but it's applicable across a number of different agencies. We want to improve the ability to do planning, support our operations, obviously, and making a positive impact on society. There are a lot of environmental attendees as well. So a great event. We've been attending for a number of years. And as a business partner, technology partner with Esri, we always get invited to those things. We'll also be attending the Esri International User Conference in San Diego, which takes place in July. Always a great opportunity to learn. Esri does a fantastic job making sure education is readily available at all of their events. The next Federal GIS Conference takes place in mid-February in Washington, D.C. I haven't seen any exact dates posted for that event as of yet, but I'm sure they'll be coming through in the next 4 to 5 months as they start their planning process. It's been a busy time for us at Terrago. We attended the Geo Week event a couple of weeks prior to the Esri Federal Conference as well. So, and then we also have a regional Esri user conference here located in Atlanta. I'm located in Atlanta, Georgia, for the Southeastern Regional User Group. So if you're actually in the southeastern part of the United States, it's obviously not as large of an event as these national and international conferences. But again, there are plenty of training opportunities there, and to also socialize and network with your peers. Just for a brief history, just to go over this real quick. We were founded in 2005. Terrago was, and we patented the first way to encode geospatial information inside of a PDF file. After doing that, we branded that product as GeoPDF. Terrago is the name of the company, and underneath Terrago, there are 2 different business units. One is a field ops application, where we focus primarily on smart cities and infrastructure. Several customers that you may be familiar with: Duke Energy, Southern Company, Florida Power and Light, and several others. John works pretty heavily on that side of the business as well. So if you have any questions about that, you can go to terragotech.com. where we have significantly increased the return on investment for technology with the installation of smart street lights, smart gas meters, even electrical vehicle recharging stations. So that technology continues to progress, as does our GeoPDF technology. Um, what we focus on is data dissemination and data collection / collaboration. Collaboration is available for everyone with the free Adobe Reader platform and our free GeoPDF toolbar. And I'll do a quick demonstration of that. We do assist multiple. I don't have a slide here to show you exactly what all of our customer base looks like. I do have a market slide that I'll show you in just a second, but we want to make sure that we can deliver data to an end user who may not be geospatially savvy, but they can actually do something with your data. This is what we have been focused on. I've been with the company for a little over 18 years now. And our key capability is being able to deliver highly compressed products in the Adobe Reader platform and letting someone do something with that. Terrigo does turn 20 years old this year, so quite a milestone for the company and the organization itself. Many of the employees have been here for 15 plus years as well. So deep expertise in both the Adobe Reader platform and geospatial skill sets. What we do and what we mean by geospatial collaboration is being able to deliver that geospatial and remotely sense data out to different users in various industries. Mapping and remote sensing has come a long way in the 30 plus years that I've been in the industry. And what we want to do is enhance that decision-making process for a number of different verticals. Defense and intelligence are some of our key customers. But we also do work in the emergency response, urban planning, departments of transportation, environmental sciences. And I think I go into a little more detail here in the following slides. We do enable those users to interact directly with the spatial data, but they don't have to be GIS savvy. So again, leveraging the Adobe Reader and a free toolbar, it facilitates that data sharing back and forth for better collaboration. And that's what we term or coin geospatial collaboration with GeoPDF. What is a GeoPDF? It's an enhanced PDF product. We encode all of the geospatial information inside of that product, but we also include the attribute information inside of that product as well, and make it easy for people to interact with those attributes, understanding the data that's underlying those individual points, lines, and polygons. We do support spatial annotations and measurements and GPS tracking on a laptop. So Windows 10 has incorporated location services on your laptop, so you can actually track your location exactly where you are on the GeoPDF. Standard PDF readers can open up the GeoPDF. Our Adobe Reader, or our plugin to the Adobe Reader called the GeoPDF Toolbar, works inside of Adobe Reader. It won't work with Foxit or other readers, but the GeoPDF is based on ISO 32000, meaning that any PDF reader that can open up a PDF, you can open up a GeoPDF as well. There's, it's these 5 key things of accessibility, being able to interact with that product as well, turning layers on and off, not having to be a GIS expert or remote sensing expert. Cost effective is another key point here. Users don't have to have any paid for software installed on their machine. So one organization can create a litany of GeoPDF files. Let's look at it from a tax assessor standpoint, someone who is maintaining all of the parcels for a county, for example. That one organization can create GeoPDF products of an area, and then any one of their constituents in the county or outside of the county, for that matter, can actually access that data at no cost, which is a tremendous return on investment when it comes to purchasing a single license of software. Offline usability, PDF inherently works in an offline environment. So if you are working in remote areas from a forestry standpoint or a mineral exploration standpoint, users can still use that GeoPDF and have access to all of that information. Data security is another issue. Being able to lock down, password protect that data itself. We leverage a lot of the capabilities inside of Adobe to do that, but we also do some of our own things for security as well. And I'll show you some of those capabilities. This is just a summary of kind of the unique capabilities of a GeoPDF itself. It's
Hey,
ideal
Scott.
for low bandwidth.
Hey, Scott, real quick.
Yeah.
If you want to share the slide deck, that'd be good. Like they could probably see.
Oh, I'm sorry. So you cannot see the PowerPoint slide, John.
We just see your lovely mug.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sharing the wrong screen. How about this? Can you see now?
No, not yet. Still seeing your camera. Oh, there it goes.
Okay.
Sorry. You're good.
I'm just sharing. If Mercury's in retrograde, John. I'm only sharing the application, so I might have to go back and change something again.
No, we're good.
I'll share the slides with attendees as well, so you can get a better idea of the presentation. Ideal for low bandwidth. So we do some really nice things with compression capabilities. For this data, obviously gets extremely large. So we do some nice things with compression to make the file size much smaller. You can deliver 2D, and last week we did a presentation, a quick webinar on 3D GeoPDF creation. Also creates layered products. I stole this term with permission from Lieutenant Colonel Mike or Brian Dodd in the Army. Everyone is becoming more aware of geospatial itself, but they are starting to want to do more with that type of data, with geospatial content. So Colonel Dodd actually coined this geosuspicious term. So there are the ability to display multiple coordinates in a GeoPDF product. A lot of our customers are sharing data internationally, and they don't want to necessarily work inside of a longitude and latitude or work with military grid reference systems. So they can actually, we support local coordinate systems, about 3,274 different systems. So a number of users, if you're sharing something to people in the UK, they might want to work in the local coordinate system, and we support that as well as customized projections. Again, leveraging software that's already installed, the Adobe Reader and or Acrobat, that free GeoPDF toolbar works in both of those environments. Adobe Reader being the free tool, Acrobat Pro being the paid for Adobe tool. It gives the key capabilities for the data manipulation and understanding just some common geospatial principles and being able to take those measurements or add their own points, lines, and polygons. And ultimately, what we are doing is mitigating several new requests that may come down. That one GeoPDF product can actually be a number of different types of map products. So every user is going to have basic tools, again, to be able to visualize the data in different ways. And so that's one of the things that's really compelling as well. Just a couple of applications for GeoPDF in geospatial collaboration. These are the markets that we work in. Obviously, the defense intelligence industry, emergency response. A lot of times, as soon as a disaster occurs, it seems like the first thing that goes out is communication capability. So if there are these products already created and available to people, they don't have to have that internet connection specifically. Urban planning, I mentioned environmental science, utilities and telecommunications. Power is a big market for us as well. Real estate and land management, and then crowdsourcing and volunteer geographic information, VGI. Public contributions, there are a couple of organizations that really focus on this as well. Some of our vertical customers here, the vertical customer base, and those vertical markets itself. So obviously, geospatial information provides value in all of these different markets, and being able to share that data with your user community is very compelling. I'm going to jump over to ArcGIS Pro, and John, I just want to make sure that you can see my instance. Yeah. Can you see ArcGIS Pro, John?
I got it. Thank you, sir.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So this is an instance of ArcGIS Pro. We're probably all familiar with it. To be able to activate that that product, here's the extension, GeoPDF Publisher for ArcGIS Pro, and you see that it is enabled here. We go back to the Pro environment. Here is the Terrago option, and these are the tools that are available to you. Just to go through, if you're doing the installation and have some sort of issue or want to be able to get in touch with us, here's, just some details about the versions, phone numbers, and then a log option here to, if you do encounter any issues with your data and the export, our support team, the first thing that they'll probably do is ask you for the log file. And that's where that's located. All of our help is online now. So we'll show you what that looks like here. So going through the process of configuring your export, some of the things that we're going to talk about today, preferences, installation, licensing, etc. So those things are located all online, and we can make it available for you offline if you would like. And then there are some default preferences, and these are the preferences, if nothing, that are just defaults. You can make changes in these as well. Some of the things you might want to be aware of is optimizing the file size and then embedding all of the Esri document fonts inside of the file as well. As we go through here, this is where layers are configured. You can do several things inside of this capability as well. Inside of this layer panel, we always want to create a layered GeoPDF product so that we can have those multiple types of products inside of one. And a user can go in and turn information on and off, turn layers on and off. And another thing that is very handy is the ability to maintain visible scale ranges. Now, you can also group these items here together into one cohesive group if you just wanted to lump your transportation information together and just put it all under one type. You can do that as well as setting initial visibility. So if I want to make, the imagery turned off so we get better performance initially, I can actually turn that individual layer, make sure that it's off at the beginning when someone opens the product. Several other capabilities inside of there. For the sake of time, we're just going to run through some of these other things. Attributes. So if we want to embed the attribute information inside of the GeoPDF, so all of your attributes for each one of your points, lines, and polygons, we can do it a couple of different ways. First is with GeoPackage. So GeoPackage is an OGC best practice for encoding all that attribute information inside of the PDF. What we do is GeoPackage is a SQLite database, and it is just an attachment to your PDF. Again, it's SQLite database, so we haven't really run into any limitations as to how much data we can cram inside of the PDF, the GeoPDF, the resulting GeoPDF itself. But it's a very nice way to not only have a physical representation of the data, but you also have the data. So in the event that you're delivering a GeoPDF to someone who is geospatially savvy or has a GIS system or remote sensing system, they can actually open that geo package directly inside of their GIS system of record or their remote sensing system. So again, it's not just a pretty picture, which is part of our marketing, it's actually the data. You can set that geo package as read-only as well, so you can limit. We talked briefly about security in the slides, but you can as read-only. The second option, in order to access that geo package, the end user needs to have our free GeoPDF toolbar. So we incorporated an identify tool inside of that free toolbar, and I'll show you that when I show you the resulting product. If you don't believe the user will have access to the free GeoPDF toolbar, then you'll want to embed object data, or at least do both. Object data is a capability inside of Adobe's platform that lets a user select a feature and then be able to see the attributes. You do run into limitations though, however, if content or a lot of attributes that are underlying in your project, you might run into some limitations with object data itself. We highly recommend the geo package, of course, just because it's so much more robust. But if you are unsure if they're going to have access to the toolbar, I would select the option of both. Your file size is going to get a little bit larger, but it's something I believe that we can deal with by just making smaller GeoPDF products in that case. We have another tool set called GeoPDF Composer, where it will allow you to take a map series. If you have a map series inside of your project, you can do a batch export of all of your GeoPDFs and then assemble them into a digital atlas very seamlessly. That's a different webinar, but I just wanted to make you aware of that. The next function here is pop-ups. So we do honor pop-ups if they are available from your attribute information, or pop-ups are embedded inside of your project as well. So it's another capability that's quite nice to have. And then the next option is the export options. Now, these export options will override what is inside of the default preferences that I showed you earlier. And they're much more detailed. So from the vector options, I can do some maintain or manage the DPI for those that vector content. Embedding image pyramids that obviously will help improve performance when the user opens up or has imagery available. We want to optimize, you saw this earlier, and embed the document fonts. You can also add a PDF file to the front or to the back of your resulting product. A lot of times people already have a report that they've created. Let's use the environmental scenario again. Someone has created, done soil surveys, and they have a PDF document, and they want to make their GeoPDF an addition to that report, or add that to that report. So in this case, we made it just easy for someone to go ahead and give them the option to select that file. Here's some more of the security options to require a password to open and to also restrict editing. So these passwords cannot be the same, but gives you the ability to lock the product down as much as you choose to do so. And then the final option is the export tool. In this instance, I have a map series. So I actually have 9 different pages. But for the sake, I'm only going to export the current page. You can put a base name on the file, You have the opportunity to make multiple single PDF files or create create multiple single PDF files or just one single PDF file. So a couple of options there for you as well. So here is an example of the output. You see it looks just like the ArcGIS Pro instance with my layers here. One of the first things I want to show you is within the collaboration capability is the coordinate display down at the bottom right-hand corner. So now I'm able to see multiple coordinates. Longitude and latitude in military grid reference system is what we use as the default. You do have a geo tool, which will allow you to go in. I'm going to turn my imagery off. As you see, the coordinate display is dynamic. I can freeze that coordinate if I needed to copy that down. Or I can right click and copy the coordinate to a clipboard. Another capability is to be able to Google Map that location right there. It'll launch Google Maps directly and take me. That area was a golf course, and this data set is in Denver. So now you see Denver Country Club is right here in this area. It's done via JavaScript, and we just encode that JavaScript inside of the PDF itself. And to unfreeze the coordinate, just left click again. Under the geolocate function, this is where you can coordinates display or view a third coordinate option. So here I can set projection parameters and go into the predefined list of coordinate systems and choose, again, 3,275 different options. So another nice capability, especially when you're exchanging data back and forth with different end users. The next option here in the GeoPDF toolbar is the Identify tool. I'm going to zoom in a bit here and try to gather some information or understand more data about the parcels or about parks. Identify tool. This is pulling all of the attributes, again, from that parcel, and I can actually understand. Now your end user doesn't have to go back or come back to you as an analyst and get the size of the property, for example, or what is this parcel ID? Maybe there's ownership information inside of your attribute table as well. Again, I didn't say this when we were talking about exporting attributes, but you can limit the attributes that you want to deliver inside of the GeoPDF as well. So another capability. A lot of times data is sensitive, and we don't want to share all of that content with anyone who receives the PDF file itself. Again, those attributes are stored inside of a geo package, and this is where the geo package is located. It's under the paperclip or the attachment option. And that is all of the data for all of the parcels that are inside of this product. I told you there were measurement capabilities as well. So a couple of quick examples is being able to just measure lines. If I wanted to measure a line, then I get that information right here. For the length of the line, if I want to measure an area, same thing, I can measure the area here, and we're focusing around this golf course. So this item here is approximately, sorry, a little too much clicking there. So now, I measured areas. So now 0.37 acre area right here. You know, also measure circular areas. So if I wanted to draw a line from the center of this area to here, Now it actually gives me a circular measurement. And you can see that that's 52 acres in that area specifically. So what we want to do now is, this is where the GPS capability is located as well. So I can show a GPS track. Um, I'm located in Atlanta, so I'm not going to be able to show that capability there, but we read the GPS information directly there. The next capability in the GeoPDF toolbar is this GeoMark tool. So now I can, all of the information that I'm adding from this point is spatially accurate. Again, we have the coordinate information inside of here. If I double click this polygon, it'll show me the details or the geometry associated with every vertice for that circular measurement. I can also add other information, rectangles. If I wanted to add a rectangle here, I can add just standard lines as well. Give it 1 second here as it spools. I have a filter set up here, so let me change this. Certainly having a delay. Okay. The polyline, I'm going to drop a line here just to give you an example. I can add polygons. So you notice I have not changed I haven't gone in and defined any sort of information associated to projections. No, I didn't have to create, if you will, a shapefile. So we're doing that all for you on the back end, and the end user doesn't know anything about defining projections or creating a shapefile. So we've just made it easy on the back end to go ahead and create new content. Infrastructure, let's say that it's an open facility, and I can drop a stamp right here. And so that stamp, again, all of these things, I believe our anchor point is the top left here of that stamp. But the key, what we're enabling is someone to do something with the data that you have been such a steward for. So we want them to be able to do something with it, like add their own markups. Maybe there is something that is on the map that is not accurate. And the map may be a little bit older. You want someone to go out and ground truth that content. We want to make it easy. So now I've gone to the field and I've created this information. Now I want to share it back with the analyst. I just select this export geomarks function. So I'm going to save this to my desktop, and I can save it as a KML or a shapefile. So again, this SHM file is a wrapper for all of the individual points, lines, and polygons. All of the other data is in there that's required for you to be able to open up into ArcGIS Pro or into your other GIS system of record. For this instance, I'm just going to export to a KML, and I'm going to call this Esri. I'm just going to add webinar to my desktop and save it. Select OK. I just want to export the geomarks. So what's happening is I'm going in and actually scraping off the new data that's created and just sharing a single file. So I'm going to select OK. And when I go into my file explorer here, here is the Esri Federal Webinar KML file. So by double clicking that, it'll navigate me directly to that location. Again, all of those markups are spatial. So now over this golf course, I actually have all of my markups. This had attributes already, so it was an open facility. So we carry those attributes across, and then the authoring information, and that's pulled directly from Adobe. If you go into Adobe under your identity, you can specify all this information. It's a good way to have a chain of custody for all of the new content that's actually being created. So that's spatial collaboration in a nutshell. Um, what I'd like to do now, I think I saw a couple, or at least one question here. Um, give you my contact information again. You probably have. Some of the email firewall only accepts PDF-A files. Do you have experience with firewall problems to be able to send GeoPDFs? We have not. Within our larger customer base, I have not experienced any issues with being able to submit. John, do you have any experience with PDF-A files?
I do not. That might be something though we could look into and get back to him. But
Yeah,
I've never, I mean, we've worked with several agencies and never run into this before. So, but we'll take a look and see what we can find.
perfect, perfect. Thanks, Eric. Um, with that, we can provide you, if you would like to try the product out, I can provide you with evaluation versions of the software, help you get up and running and kick the tires and see how it works for you, help you see if it helps you solve an issue with what you're doing today, tomorrow, throughout your workflow. You can just reach out directly to me. And I'll be happy to get you a 15-day evaluation, and we'll see if that can help solve a couple of problems. And with that, we'll go ahead and close this out. Thanks for attending. I appreciate it. And we'll send a recording and the PowerPoint deck out to everyone in attendance. Thanks. Y'all have a great day.